Hello, Christopher here, and welcome back to the Patriot Report. Ratified in 1913, the 16th Amendment authorized Congress to levy an income tax without apportionment among the states. On its face, the amendment was a response to economic realities and a reaction to a Supreme Court decision that had limited federal taxing power. But from a constitutionalist perspective, the 16th Amendment represents a major turning point, one that dramatically expanded the reach of the federal government and altered the original balance of the Republic. While it created a steady revenue stream, it also opened the door to a level of federal authority the framers likely never envisioned. The text of the amendment. The Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes on incomes, from whatever source derived, without apportionment among the several states, and without regard to any census or enumeration. The road to ratification. Pollock Decision, 1895, the Supreme Court struck down a federal income tax, ruling it unconstitutional because it wasn't apportioned among the states. Push for reform. Industrialization created vast fortunes and economic inequality, and reformers argued for an income tax as a fair way to collect revenue. Amendment proposed. Congress responded with the 16th Amendment, sidestepping constitutional barriers by changing the Constitution itself. Key features. Direct federal income tax. Congress gained authority to tax individuals and corporations directly. No apportionment requirement. The tax no longer had to be divided proportionally among states by population. Nationwide reach. Every citizen and business came under the same federal taxing system. The constitutional republic perspective. Departure from limited government. The founders intended federal revenue to come mainly from tariffs and excise taxes, keeping Washington small and states strong. The 16th Amendment broke that model. Concentration of power. By bypassing the states, the amendment gave Washington direct financial control over individuals, reducing the leverage states once held. Impact on liberty. Taxation is always a trade-off with personal freedom. Granting the federal government open-ended power to tax incomes risks undermining that liberty. Fuel for expansion. The amendment provided the financial engine for the growth of the federal bureaucracy, entitlement programs, and permanent federal agencies. Supporters' arguments. Fairness. Advocates saw income taxes as a way to make the wealthy pay a larger share. Modernization. Tariffs and excise taxes were unreliable in a modern industrial economy. Stability. A permanent income tax gave the federal government a dependable revenue stream for national defense and infrastructure. Concerns and criticisms. Erosion of federalism. States became more dependent on Washington, weakening the original balance of powers. Complexity and inequality. The tax code quickly became politicized, favoring some groups over others. Unlimited government growth. Once the federal government had a direct claim on income, it had few incentives to limit spending. Legacy and long-term impact. Rise of the IRS. The income tax system created a permanent federal agency with sweeping enforcement powers. Massive federal spending. The amendment made possible the New Deal, Great Society, and today's trillion-dollar budgets. Enduring debate. From flat tax proposals to calls for repeal, the 16th Amendment remains one of the most controversial parts of the Constitution. The 16th Amendment is a constitutional reality, but one that profoundly altered the nature of the American Republic. By giving Congress unlimited power to tax incomes, it strengthened the central government at the expense of both the states and individual liberty. From a constitutionalist perspective, It stands as both a cautionary tale and a live debate. Should Washington hold such power over the livelihoods of its citizens, or should taxation return closer to the limited model the founders envisioned? For anyone who cares about ordered liberty, the 16th Amendment is not just history, it's a reminder of how deeply taxation shapes the character of a republic. Thanks for listening. I'm Christopher, and this has been the Patriot Report. Stay informed, stay free,